to Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy.
Welcome to Real Estate Live with the Real Estate Guys, Aaron and Jacob Taylor.
We're keeping it real, we're keeping it current, and we're keeping it fun.
Las Vegas' #1 real estate show.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
Call 310-MOVE.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
310-MOVE, the real estate guy.
What's up?
Bring us in,
Las
baby.
Vegas, Jacob and Aaron Taylor here, your favorite real estate guys. We got some good stuff for you today. Let's get these sponsors out of the way real quick so we can jump into
Before
the
you do that,
juice.
though, I really heard that we are the favorite real estate guys in Vegas. I did hear that.
Who said that, huh?
They did.
They did.
And you know who they are.
I don't.
Dom, you know who they are, right? You know, people go, hey, they said. You hear people say that all the time, right? Hey, they said. And you're like, who's they? So I can say they said we're the best real estate guys in Nevada.
Perfect. That's all that matters.
Right, because no one really knows who they are. Right? I mean, you said that before in your life. You know, they say that.
Usually there's some context that explains who they is.
But next time someone says they, go, who's they? And they're like, well, you know, they. Like YouTube and social media and, oh, my friend next door. Oh, okay. So they said we're the best real estate guys in Nevada.
Nice. All right. Well, shout out Fidelity. We appreciate you as always. Julie Simrelli, Robert over there at Fidelity, always taking care of our clients, taking care of our transactions, our escrows for us. Neo Home Loans, Sheila Merrill, best aunt out there, always taking care of all of our loans, making sure people get pre-qualified, handling the
I'm not
loan
touching my
docs,
nose. I'm
all
going
that good
to
stuff.
consciously not touch my nose. Go ahead, Jim.
Then we
Sorry.
got
Talking to Dom over here. You
John
just keep going.
McGibbon,
I'm talking to Dom.
Grape Street
Not going to.
Cafe.
If I do say
We love you, McGibbons. Always the best. Got some fantastic wine, some fantastic Italian food down there in downtown Summerlin. And we got Chris
There he is.
Sullivan.
Chris
Attorney
Sullivan.
at law.
Look at it.
The best real estate
Here he is, right here.
attorney
Dom,
in
get
this
him.
town, the only one you
Got him.
need when you have a real estate problem.
We
It
love
needs
him.
to be dealt with by the courts.
Look at how good looking he is.
Most of the time, he'll just keep it out of the court. He'll make one phone call for you, and it'll be done.
Oh, and he's brutal.
Done.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if this is probably the best compliment that I can give Chris Sullivan.
So,
He won that big case for me, right?
yeah.
Chris Sullivan said, if I was representing the other guy, I'd win. And I believe him.
I do too.
He would have tore me up. So it really matters who you have defending you, just like as a real estate team.
Matters
Who's
who's
representing you? Who's going to get you the best deal? Who's going to negotiate the best commission on the other side?
Right.
Right?
Sometimes it's just about asking the right questions.
It really matters.
Saying the right things.
I think so. It really, really matters.
All right. And we got two more sponsors, I believe. We got Sun
We do.
Solar Solutions.
There you go, Sun Solar.
Christian over there at Sun Solar. We've never backed the solar company before.
Never.
But these guys are the real deal. They install their panels correctly. They take care of them. They do repairs if necessary. And they're going to be pretty transparent with you when it comes down to the price, the process, and really work on getting you out of that energy payment.
Between last show that he was on and now, he actually had a client of ours that called him and was so excited about finally doing solar, right?
Okay.
He told her no.
Wasn't right for her.
Did it make sense? I mean, if you're single, you live in this house by yourself, single story, and your payment's $100-something a month, you don't need to do solar.
Yeah.
And they get to do really, and she was older, so it's it's going to be paid off in 25 years. What's the point?
Yeah.
You're going to be dead by then. I mean, what's the point? You're 72. Your solar's going to be paid off when you're 97. You're paying $150 a month. Your solar's going to be $150 a month. I don't really see that. That's why he didn't benefit.
Yeah. Yeah. And who else we got? We got Robert Loftus. He's our
Well, Robert, he's a great guy, but he ain't our sponsor yet, so let's not give him too many props. We love
I
Robert.
mentioned him a few times.
I know, we love Robert. He actually texted me the other day and said he was thinking about you. I told him I miss your face. But, not yet. We're working on him.
I think that's all of them, right? Did we get them all?
Yeah. How's the baby?
Baby's doing good.
I saw the picture today. Man, she is getting. I really feel like she's getting chunkier and chunkier. Can she get any more fluffier?
I don't know. I'm sure she will be.
Is she 20 pounds yet?
I don't know. We haven't had a.
She looks 20 pounds.
She's getting there for sure.
3 months. She's gonna be 3 months when?
She's 3 months old.
Oh, she had her 3-month birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is probably one of the chunkiest little butterballs that I ever see. She's not giggling yet though.
No giggles.
Is she,
But she's super smiley. She's super smiley.
oh, that's all she does is smile, right?
Yeah. Yep. Smile and eat.
Smile, eats, and you do the
Smile, eat, fart, and sleep.
rest. She does a lot of that. Oh man. So it is a real estate show. Probably want to talk about the market, what's going on a little bit. Probably not a big change,
No.
right? Because when we have changes, they're like gradual.
Yep.
But let's talk about some numbers. So we always base. I know our average days on market right now is 71 days.
Okay.
So if you list your house is probably going to stay on the market 71 days, unless two things, Jacob. What are they?
You list the property where it needs to be sold quickly.
Price it right. Number two,
And how it looks.
better look good.
Key.
Yeah, two things to get your house sold. Price it right. Have it look like a model.
There you go.
Any market, someone's going to jump on it because there's still, 1,800 people a month? In the last 30 days, how many sales? I'm going to say 1,800.
2,345, 1,802 single story.
I was right on the SFRs.
Yep.
1,800. So it's going down, what we expect,
Yep.
because we're getting into the holidays in the fourth quarter, as it was about 2,300, 2-3 months ago.
Right.
And it's probably going to get less. But even in like the worst selling month of the year, which is December, there's still going to be 1,000 sales. So
Probably about 1,200, I think.
yeah, November usually 15. I think.
Right. So yeah, the last 30 days, 1,800 single family sales, with about 5,400 single family homes on the market. Let's confirm that again.
Which is
50.
going up every week,
Yep, 5,450.
going up 100 and plus. every
70,
single week.
a little over 7,300 total homes on the market, right? And just so you guys know, I know I've explained this before, but if you're new here, when we say total homes, we're talking single family, talking townhomes, condos, and manufactured homes, right? Usually we kind of base the numbers off of the single family homes, because that's really the trend and that's what most people are in, right? But you still have condos, townhomes, and manufactured homes in there as well. So we're seeing an increase of about 100 homes a week. That's pretty standard right now. That's the trend. An increase in inventory, total inventory, about 100 homes, about 80 single-family residentials, and then another 20 between condos.
Every week.
Manufactured.
Going up every week.
And we're seeing sales drop probably about, I'd say 1% per week right now. 1%. So like, 20 or so sales drop less per week. So, we've beginning of the year, sitting at a little over 5,000 total income or total inventory. Now we're sitting at over 7,000, right? I think by the end of this year we'll be well over 8,000, probably pushing 8,500 or so by the end of the year.
Big trend is price reductions.
We're gonna see. So think about that. In the beginning of the year, we had about 1.5-2 months supply. About 1.5 months supply. I think by the time we end this year, we'll be sitting at, just for the month of December, right? Because it's pretty bad to begin with. About 7 to 8 months supply.
No.
That's crazy to think about. But yeah, if you need to buy, you'll be getting some deals.
We will
on the holiday season.
beat the seller up for you if you're going to buy a home,
We will.
because we know the ins and outs and what to do. Let's take a break, Jacob. When we come back, we'll talk a little more about the real estate market. And then later on, we're going to talk about the 10 commonly litigated issues in real estate. A couple of them we're going to really touch on. A few of them will just go on by. Then we're going to talk about some of the other states in the United States that are really hot right now, where you would want to buy. So we'll be back in just a minute. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, whatever it is. So I want to tell you a story, because we're going to talk about a lot of issues in real estate that are litigated, right? The things that you should do and not do or stay away from.
Okay.
We had something that come up this week. It's irritating, but sometimes just because one of the parties are wrong, it doesn't make financial sense to go after them.
Right.
I mean, it just doesn't. You have to think of money over principle sometimes. Normally, when you do principle over money, you end up losing. Like in my big case, I was really trying to just get out of the damn thing. Remember?
Yeah.
I offered, hey, just give me my money back and I'll go away. The guy it wasn't happening.
Yep.
Thank God I had Chris and we won. So it'll be a good house. But hundreds of thousands of dollars later, unnecessary.
Right. So just tell us about the story on why it probably wasn't worth pursuing legal action this week. So
I'll mention names, but they won't be the real names because I don't want to. Right. So
just tell the scenario.
yeah, I'll tell the scenario. So Beth, one of our agents, had a client. Been looking for houses for quite a while, like a month, right? Really good client. In the 900s. And they found a house they really liked. So they submitted an offer on the property. They countered back and forth. They countered price. They countered commission. They countered, closing day, title companies, normal stuff. Well, the last counter offer, the seller signed it.
Send it back to the buyer.
Signed it. The agent has it. The buyer has it. Boom. Done deal. You would think it's a done deal. Contractually wise, it was
Well, right. So let me detail that a little.
Go ahead, Mr. Broker.
The seller signed a counteroffer, right? Sent back a counteroffer to the buyers. While the buyers had it, they're taking it. They have a response date, right? When you send an offer or a counteroffer, there's a response window you have to submit by to legally bind that contract. They were signing the offer. The buyer signed it, sent it back to the sellers. At that point, the contract is fully executed and they are under contract. The seller's agent calls back when they sent the offer signed over saying, oh no, sorry, we went with another offer. Right, so what's the problem with that? Well, they were in negotiations already. Unless that counteroffer was rescinded in writing, technically they could take them to court and sue for specific performance. But
100%
we're talking
they can.
about cost, right? We're talking about, is it worth it? Is it really worth it to go spend upwards of $50,000 to try to get them to perform on their original offer?
Yeah, but if you win, you can sue
for
attorney
court
fees.
costs. Yeah, attorney
And here's the thing. In this particular case, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
Chris would eat that up all day long. The buyers would win.
Yeah.
But it's going to cost a little retainer fee up front. Chris might even take it on consignment. Or on, not consignment, but on, what do you call it? What do you call it when you...
I don't know.
Okay.
To be honest. I know you're getting at that.
Brain dead right now.
Do it free up front.
Yeah, but he would win.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I told Barry, I go, and here's the thing. The seller's agent and broker and company we're friends with.
Yeah.
We know them really well. So their response was, which is really the only response they could give us, is sorry, the seller decided to take the other offer. Not us. We didn't consult them. The seller said, nope, I'm still taking the second offer.
No, why did they rescind the counter offer? They didn't have any explanation.
Well, no, because they were taking it. And then they got a better one later.
Right. Well, I've had that scenario come up, and the right thing to do as an agent, right, and as a brokerage, is to immediately, upon receival of another offer that they want to accept, that the seller wants to accept, is to send in writing via email, via text, hello, this is blah, 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 with blah, blah, blah brokerage. We're going to be rescinding our counter for the property above, or for the property, mentioned. At that point, boom, you say you protected yourselves legally, or you protected your client legally. The brokerage, in my opinion, did a bad job of protecting their client.
Okay, let me ask you this scenario. I still think Chris would win. Okay, they accepted the counter. Buyer and seller both signed it. Escrow is going to be open within 24 hours.
Okay.
Instead of the phone call, the selling agent sends an email to the buyer's agent and said, we're rescinding the counter that was signed. How are they protected? It's already signed. You're saying they have to send the rescission prior to the signature.
No, not prior to the seller's signature. Prior to receiving the signed counter back from the buyer.
Right.
If they didn't get an email or they have nothing received,
There you go. That's
it could
what I'm
be
trying to
1 minute
allude
before.
to. Yeah.
If they send a rescindance of that counter offer,
Prior to them receiving it, they can do that.
yes, then it's void.
Yeah, they didn't do that.
Right.
So I explained to Miriam, I just told you the name, but whatever. I told Miriam, I said, I think if the buyers really like that house, I mean, they've been looking for a month, they should pursue it.
Yeah.
They really should. Like, teach somebody a lesson. Like, pursue it if you really want that house. The buyer didn't want to go through the hassle. Maybe they didn't want it that bad, right?
Right. I mean,
So that was kind of crazy.
it's a lot to deal with. I wouldn't want to deal with it personally. There's a bunch of other houses out there. There'll be more listed. It's just an unfortunate situation, and this is why us as agents need to know our jobs.
Kind of goes hand in hand with the breach of contract. That's generally the most common cause of real estate litigation, Jacob.
It's got to be breach of contract or SRPD.
Yep. It is such that all parties fully comply with all the terms, conditions contained in the contract. These can include details regarding the closing date, financing, and more. If one party doesn't adhere to the obligation, boom, they're breaching the contract. That's the most common one. We just talked about that. Pretty much the seller breached the contract, right?
Yep, either part. Right.
Here's another one.
What is it?
Let's see you talk about this. Joint property ownership disputes. That's a big one.
Okay.
Those who own property with another are either joint tenants, tenants in common disputes that can arise amongst parties that own land or real estate, including disagreements about how the property should be used, the improvements, should they sell it, whatever the dispute is, right? They might want to avoid sharing ownership entirely, maybe. In the event, the co-owners cannot work out a mutually accepted plan. So guess who they need? Chris Sullivan. They need Chris Sullivan, man, because I see this all the time. 3-4 people. I mean, right now in the corner of Spring Mountain and Flamingo, I think, you'll see this shopping center, right? It's huge. It's like 5 acres, 10 acres. It's been boarded and closed down. Dom, you might even know which one I'm talking about. It's been boarded and closed down for years.
Okay.
Well, I heard that there's about 10 Chinese investors, because it's Spring Mountain, right, that bought this like 20 years ago.
All right.
And none of them could agree on selling it, keeping it,
What to do with it?
whatever. 10 of them. They're never going to agree.
There's too many peas in the pod.
And they own it outright. And I heard 5 of them have more money than they don't even care. So they'll just, doesn't matter. The other 5, there's a couple that are just bleeding them dry. There's a couple that are in the middle. But, I mean, you're going to have to wait till all of them die or something. I don't know what you're going to do with it.
It's foreclosed on. Oh, it's not going to, right?
If they own it cash. Yeah, but what the problem with that is that it's boarded.
It's nice.
We have homeless people that break into it constantly. I think there'll probably end up being a fire or something. Maybe the city is going to have to go to all the owners and say, sorry guys,
You guys have to do
if you don't
something
sell
with
this or do something with it, we're just going to take it,
confiscate it.
right? What do you think about that one?
Interesting, right?
How about here's the biggest one. Boyfriend and girlfriend. Or boyfriend and boyfriend, or girlfriend and girlfriend, or they and they. Whatever you call it these days. Whatever you want to call it. They own a property together and they break up.
Okay.
Oh, that opens up a can of worms, right?
Just it depends on whose title.
They're both on title. They're both on title.
Well, then they both own 50% of it.
One wants to sell, one doesn't. What are you going to do? Hire Chris Sullivan. Go to court.
It's not even worth going to court over that.
Well,
What are you gonna win?
what about divorces? You own a property, a commercial building, worth $5 million outright. You own the property. Wife says, I don't want to sell it. The husband says, nope, we're selling it. Well, you ain't selling it without my signature. And the husband's like, watch this. Boom, who do you hire?
Chris
Chris
I
Sullivan.
don't even know. How do you work that out? It's just gonna be mediation at the end of the day. Still, it's still gonna have to agree upon.
You have to go to court. It's got to be in front of a judge. The judge has to make the decision. A mediator's not. A mediator can sit there and go, yeah, he's right. He should sell it. She's still going to go, no, I'm not selling. You can't.
So you're saying that the judge is going to force a decision one way or the other.
One way or another. When 2 people can't get along in a title dispute, unfortunately, you got to hire an attorney. And here's the problem with it. It might cost you $100,000 later, each of you.
For no reason.
Especially if it's the more, I'm going to tell you this, the more money it is, the more your attorneys are going to fee, right? That's just wrong, huh?
I don't understand why people that have disputes about selling something don't just either have one of 2 options. One, the person who doesn't want to sell buys the other person out at market value, Or two, they decide to sell it and they take their money and put their money in elsewhere. The person that didn't want to sell.
Well,
it.
here's why. I need the money, and maybe that person doesn't.
Exactly.
And I don't have any money, so I need to force them to sell it because I need the money.
So then the other person should buy you out, or
They don't have the money,
and then should be sold. Let you get your money out.
but they want to keep it. So it could get crazy,
I
right?
think at that point, then it's always going to go to the courts, and they're going to say, no, you guys have to sell because one person needs their money.
Yeah.
I would assume so. I mean, I guess it's just.
I see a lot of it is in like probate stuff, or when a parent dies and there's multiple executors, and one wants to sell it, one wants to keep it, one wants to buy it, but they don't have the money. I have one right now in Sun City.
Yeah.
The guy wants to keep it, and he wants to fix it up. Well, I don't know if he's kept it or fixed it up, and I think he thinks obviously it's worth more than it is. And the other party says, I just want to sell it. Like, just to sell it and get the most we can. I mean, what? And they're not young. They're like my age. So what are they going to do? Wait 20 years? Are they going to dispute it over 20 years? It's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Like, do something with it. Guy, sell the house and go on a cruise to Alaska. Everybody's always has the Alaskan cruise on their bucket list, don't they? If you're listening to this show right now and you're 55 and over, which a lot of you are, sell it. Go on an Alaskan cruise. Matter of fact, if you have some money in the bank, don't leave it to your kids. Go on an Alaskan cruise.
Enjoy it while you got it.
Enjoy it. Hey, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're even going to tell you where to spend that money. It'll be baby pictures. That's what you're doing.
About some litigation in real estate, right? So
Yep.
We got contract disputes. We got title disputes. What else we got?
What
Gotta
give me-
have SRPD.
Oh, here it is right here. Here it comes. Seller's failure to disclose defects.
Stop lying about what's wrong with your house. You can't cover up the hole in the wall with the couch. It's gonna be seen. Just tell us about it so we can disclose it. Sometimes the buyers don't even need it fixed. We can just settle on a credit, right? Or an issue that I had going on right now, right? There's a trust cut in half. That's probably gonna need to be fixed, but you're not gonna get away with lying about it. There's an inspector that comes to the house. They do a general inspection of all things house related, right? All the electrical, all the plumbing, the HVAC system, flooring, the walls, everything involved with the house is going to be inspected. Even the irrigation, right? And they're going to test it. It's going to be found. You're not going to get away with it. And even if the inspector doesn't catch it, if they catch it 6 months down the road and it's able to be proved that you knew about it or attempted to hide it, you're liable for some damages.
So yeah, man, we had a client that didn't disclose the main sewer line that goes from the street to the house, right?
Okay.
Didn't disclose that she had issues with it for years, and didn't put it on the SRPD. The day that the buyers moved into the house, guess what happened?
It all backed up.
All the toilets backed up. So then they go to the agent. They tell their agent, hey, what happened? The agent goes to their agent, goes, hey, what's going on with this sewer thing? Whatever. Agent goes to talk to the buyer. The buyer says, no, we've never had a problem. So this was in our MLS system, but it was a smaller town. Okay, I won't tell you what town, but it was a smaller town. You just one of several, right? So the new buyers got creative and started calling all companies in town that fix underground sewer issues that go from the street, from the main to the house. And guess what they found out?
They'd hired a bunch of companies
Oh,
to
yeah.
come take a look at
Oh
it.
yeah, that house has been having issues for years. They had multiple people come out.
Had to be Pahrump,
Nope.
Mesquite,
Smaller than that.
Glendale.
Nope. Laughlin.
Damn.
So guess who's in the middle of a lawsuit? Guess who's going to win?
That seller's getting sued for damages.
Oh, yeah, the sellers.
They're replacing that line.
Oh yeah, pay for attorneys, everything. So it doesn't pay to not tell the truth. Another popular one is building a casita or a patio cover or something would not unpermitted. Doing something major to a house that's not permitted,
Just gotta disclose it, right? Sometimes buyers don't care. It doesn't have permits as long as it's good. Inspector checks it out. It looks good. Sometimes they don't care about the permits. Well, sometimes they do.
Yeah, I'd want to permit if it was something that had to do with mechanical.
Yeah, but sometimes
Structural.
it's just a
Patio cover, I wouldn't be too.
a patio cover, right? You're
Yeah, I
not gonna
really
be too
wouldn't
worried
care
about
too
it.
much about that.
Unless the seller said, "Yeah, I built it myself." Maybe I'll take a look at it.
Here's another one that we found out. I mean, I've had this happen several times. The seller doesn't disclose HOA litigation, right? There's defect on defects litigation going on in the community, and so 10 people get together, they hire a lawyer, and they sue everybody and their mothers, right? They sell their house, they don't disclose it, but guess when it gets to be found out? They don't even tell their agent. They don't tell their agent. They don't tell anybody. Thinking, no one's going to know. As soon as they do, the HOA demand and
About 2 weeks, probably.
get the
a week and a
HOA
half,
resale
2 weeks into the
package,
transaction.
couple 2 or 3 weeks into the transaction, boom, litigation. Can't sell it financing.
No finance sales.
No financing. Well, I mean, there might be an occasional, depending on what it is. If it has to do with the house or the HOA. I mean, if it has to do with the house, probably for sure not. If it has to do with the common areas in the subdivision, which happens a lot, sometimes they do.
What is, from your experience, what are the main issues for litigating an HOA?
Well, it's usually stupid. I mean, sometimes they're real, but usually it's some drywall cracks in all the houses because the house settles. The outside lights aren't working properly. Kitech was a huge one, right? That was probably the biggest one in Nevada. Was Kitech, where the fittings weren't put on properly and they were popping, which caused floods in houses. The common areas are real popular too, where the irrigation system or the parks of the community, they're suing the builder or suing for getting repaired or fixed.
All right, I was going to say, I remember when I moved to my place a few months ago, and I was talking to some of my neighbors. Apparently, they sued because of the way the houses were built 10 years ago, and they won eventually.
Yeah, I think you have to have 5 or more in a community to start the lawsuit, and then you start recruiting everybody else.
Yeah.
But if it's not a legit, then don't do it, because it just hurts your community. It devaluates the property. Yeah, everybody's going to get a little check, but no sales are going to happen in the community, and then all of a sudden you put this stigma on the neighborhood that the houses are screwed up. Nobody wants to buy them. So why would you do it? I mean, unless it's a legit thing. Most of the time, the builder will just take care of it anyways. If you get everybody together, keep the attorneys out of the equation, and go to the builder and go, look, there's several of us that we have the same issue. We're not going to hire representation with an attorney, but we want you to fix it. If it's one of the big builders, they're going to fix it. They're usually pretty good at that. They don't, Pulte, D.R. Horton, Toll Brothers, Lennar, they don't want a bad reputation.
Yeah, they don't need any.
KB
They don't need
Homes.
any public litigation.
No, they don't need that. They don't need it at all. You want to know another one?
What's next?
I know you guys that are listening are just biting at the bit right now. I wish we could have some drum rolls or something here, but apparently the guy who's producing our show today doesn't really know how to work the sound bites. We have a new guy back there. Give us a roll. Boom! Title disputes.
I thought that's what we went over already.
Did we talk about title disputes?
Like between tenants in common and tenants in the entirety. Isn't that just a dispute between ownership?
Title dispute is any disagreement concerning the ownership of property, such as those involving the proper liens or easements. One way of resolving these issues is determining who the property owner is through quiet title process. In addition, a quiet title lawsuit can be used to correct the error in the chain of title, even when there is no dispute concerning ownership.
Okay.
So you can elaborate on that, huh? Because right now you're like, oh, I don't know.
No.
Dad,
too
what's
much
that?
I don't know too much about those cloudy titles. For example, though, if you don't pay the IRS, you're gonna get some liens on your property.
There'll be a lien on your property for sure.
You're gonna have a IRS lien on your property for that amount owed, and they'll attach that thing to every property you own that's in your name.
Yeah, that property gets sold like you're dealing with right now.
Yep.
Are we getting that, by the way?
I followed up this morning. I'm working on it.
All right. All that money's going to the IRS. IRS is always getting paid. You know what else is always getting paid? HOA.
Republic.
HOA, Republic
Utilities.
Services, sewer.
Yep.
They're always getting paid.
They don't ever get gypped from
You ain't skirting them.
No. They're gonna attach some liens to your property somehow, some way.
Did we talk about construction defects already?
Not really, no.
A little bit. A builder can be held strictly liable for construction defects in residential property. In such cases, claims may also be asserted for negligence and breach of warranty. Recoverable damages may include the reasonable value of repair, storage expenses, relocation, loss of business income, if the home was a primary place of business, and other financial losses. So that's what you hire and you go to litigation too if there's construction defects.
Gotcha.
Which, like the Kitech issue,
Right.
was a big one.
I
Right?
haven't seen any recently, really. Yeah.
No, not like that. Not on a large level.
They're
Like
getting
that.
pretty good, most of the builders.
North Las Vegas, there was a big one back in the day where all the houses were cracking in half because the slabs that they put on the soil wasn't treated correctly
Got it.
because it has to be compounded and
So it's like settling.
it was
more,
settling and the
so-
house was cracking. And then back in those days, they weren't using post-tension slabs. They were using a concrete slab. But you know the difference between post-tension and concrete?
No, I don't.
I'll tell you. So here's your slab. It's concrete, right?
Okay.
Post-tension slab, they have cables that go through like that. And at the end of the slabs, the cables are tight really hard. So when that house starts to settle and
That's
shift,
why
it
they
doesn't
say
crack.
You can't cut into your garage because
Oh.
those bars, right, will snap.
Yeah, don't cut into
Cut
the
right
slab
through.
if you don't know what's underneath it.
Yeah.
Because if that cable snaps, it'll rip the house in half and rip their head off
Yeah.
as well. So now they use post-tension slabs, but that was a big one that I remember back. Again, of course, I keep mentioning the Kitech plumbing was a big one. There is some roof issues sometimes that happens if it's not put on correctly, if you're trying to cut corners, right? Make sure you do the roof properly. So, all right, we're enough about that stuff. When we come back, we're going to talk about some cities that are, regardless of what's going on in the economy right now, they're still pretty hot and heavy,
They are.
right?
There's still some good real estate out there, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about some new home builds.
All right, let's do it. We'll be back in just a minute.
Alrighty, we're back.
Because however he's posted the commercial, I mean, if we get 18, 19, 20,000, how many was that? 84,000 views on that TikTok. That was crazy.
That was nice.
If you could get that for us on every post,
We need some quality content, not some boring crap about litigation.
was that boring?
I even told him, I said, I'm falling asleep over here listening
Sorry,
to this
everybody.
litigation crap.
I know. It was pretty boring. But some people were really interested in it, I'm sure.
If they're going to litigation, why not?
Yeah. You know what? Just turn your dial. Don't even listen anymore. We got about 15 minutes, 10 minutes. I wouldn't listen.
I'll spice it up. I got some interesting stuff.
I wouldn't listen to
If
this.
you're a buyer right now, you're going to want to listen to this, right?
Tell me.
So if you're not already represented and you're going to be buying a home this holiday season,
Go ahead.
you need to call a real estate guy.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you why.
Tell me why.
Ain't nobody
Ain't.
better at negotiating with the home builders
Ain't nobody.
than the real estate guys, all right? They're
Okay.
going to get you closing costs. They're going to get you rate buy downs. They're going to get you credit towards the design studio.
Okay.
And, you know, I'm going to make sure we look at their standing inventory because I can negotiate even further on that.
Yes.
They don't negotiate with you common folk out there because, one, they're going to tell you, no, we don't do that. This is just how it is. But if I walk into their office and I go, hey, you got some standing inventory. They say, yeah, this lot right here, you know, the buyers fell out there, lost their job. Right on the go. What's it listed at? 600. We'll give you 580. Well, let me see. I don't know if we can do that. They're gonna call their boss, or they're gonna write the boss an offer. They're gonna call me back and say, we'll do it for 590. We'll do it for 585. All right, we'll sign today. Boom. There's 15 grand saved on your purchase price.
Well, they want to sell homes.
And I saw you guys were offering 5,000 extra in closing costs last week, and now it's gone.
Yeah, we want that too. Yeah, we do.
No, well, that offer expired last week. Nope, tell your boss we want it. Okay, they come back, they offer 2,500. Boom, there's another 2,500. we're going to save you money. You don't lose a dime when using an agent at a new home build. In fact, you save a lot of money, right? Some people think I'm going to go into a new home builder and I'm going to save money because they're not going to have to pay an agent commission. Nope, that's not how it works. They don't change the prices if you don't go in with an agent. They're not going to save you money. In fact, when you use an agent like the real estate guy, I'll even throw in a half point to help make it happen.
What? You gonna give him some money too?
Help make it happen.
Man, you better call.
Yep. Call the real
Call
estate
the real
guys.
estate
We'll
guys.
save you upwards of $10,000 on a new home, and a lot of that's out of pocket costs, right? Because you have your down payment, you have your closing costs, and they're gonna throw in all their new HOA fees, stuff like that. We'll make sure I save you at least $10,000 out of pocket through negotiating, and I'm really good at that. I think most of us on the real estate guide team are. Done plenty of new home builds this last year. Moved quite a bit of my friends into some new home builds at DR, KB, Beezer. They're just a solid place to start, right? They're gonna help save you some money out of pocket. They're gonna appreciate better than most of the surrounding communities. Get a home that no one has lived in before, right? Get to customize it a little bit. They're gonna save you on your rate, so your monthly payment, even if you're spending an extra 20 to 50K on your purchase price, usually. Actually, most always the fixed rate you're going to get is going to be better than you get on a resale. As well as a lot of the home builders are offering buy downs too, so you can get that
2-1 buy downs, 3-1 buy downs.
right? So I know we've explained it before, but if your fixed rate's a 6.99, your first year's rate's actually going to be a 4.99. Your second year will be 5.99, and then your third through 30 will be the fixed rate of 6.99.
What up, Sid?
What's up, Bob?
We're on the radio right now, brother. Gotta call you back.
Oh, bye.
That was his older brother. Sid the Kid.
Sid the Kid.
Sid the Kid.
Yeah.
Now,
Anyway.
who answers their phone when they do a radio show or a podcast?
I don't know. Apparently, just you.
I do. That was our son.
Well, anyways,
Boy.
you distracted me over here, right? So, I was talking about fixed rates on new home builds. You're going to save yourself on that monthly payment, save yourself on interest over the 30-year term. Generally speaking, like I said, if you're within 50K of the property you're going to purchase on resale, that monthly payment is going to be very comparable. If the HOA isn't
Dude, we better hustle.
increasing.
This is boring too. This is just as boring as my litigation.
This is more real.
No, it's way.
How many people deal with litigation in the
The
real estate
litigation
world?
is real.
Yeah, for 1 in 100 people.
No, because people get involved in this crap all the time.
4 in 10 people are buying a new home build right now. That's a little bit more common than some damn litigation.
Oh, I thought it was pretty relevant. I mean, the analytical smart people would want to know about that. I don't even know if we have time to go over.
You got 5 minutes. Jump in.
I don't think we have 5 minutes.
We do. We have 5 minutes.
I'm going to do it fast.
Go. Jump in.
Okay.
Top 10 places.
Top 10. Number 10, Delaware. Appreciation 4.7%.
Nice.
What do you think of that? Inventory, they only have 2 months. Tax rate, less than 0.5%. Median sales price, $360. Boom. There's Delaware. Ready for another one?
Oh.
Indiana. Appreciation, 8%.
Sheesh.
That's the last 12 months. Inventory, 2 months. Affordability, they have some scale, but I'm not going to go over that. Median sales price, only $265.
Pretty affordable.
Yeah, so a lot of it depends on rate, on their rental, what you can get for rent, right? If you can buy a house for $265, you can get $1,200-$1,300 a month rent. It's probably a good 6% cap rate. We'll show you how to figure that out another time, but that's what investors look for is cap rate. Right now, it's a little hard to get you're going to probably get a 3% cap rate in Vegas, but we are in here. Georgia. Did I say Georgia yet?
No.
Median sales price $385. They have 3 months of inventory. Appreciation 7%.
Right.
Tennessee. 3 months supply. Appreciation 6%. Median sales price $393.
Nashville's hot right now.
Number 6. Here it goes. Guess who it is?
Nevada.
Nevada. Let's see how
There we go.
sharp. I don't think they're off, but I'm gonna spruce it up here. I'm gonna sneeze. Can you talk for like a few seconds?
Sure. So,
Good.
Nevada, median sales price. What do we got? What do we got right there? We got.
They say 365, but we're 370.
I was gonna say we're probably about 365 by now. I was gonna say we're in the high 360s. Definitely dropped a little bit, right? No, we hit that peak of about 380
We'll know in a little
months
bit.
ago. But yeah, we're probably down to about 365 right now.
2 months of inventory. They show appreciation of 6% over the last 12 months.
Sounds about
I
right.
think that's right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
How about you? Florida and Texas are in there.
Jersey. New Jersey.
Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey. Appreciation 11%. What?
That's crazy.
Median sales price $532 for Jersey.
Nice.
North Carolina,
Okay.
number 4. 7% appreciation. Median sales price $383. The Tar Heels. Nope. This is the Grand Canyon State. Can you guess which one that is?
I could never guess.
What do you think
Could
it
be
is?
Arizona.
Arizona. Appreciation 7%. Median sales price $450. They used to shoot up quite a bit.
Yeah.
And
Scottsdale, Phoenix area.
yeah, they did really good. Wow, Grand Canyon State. How about the Palmetto State? You know which one that is? The Palmetto State,
I don't, actually.
South Carolina.
Okay.
387 median sales price, 9% interest rate. I'm going to tell you what they call this state, and then this is number 1. The Sunshine State.
Florida.
Yeah. Florida.
So Texas ain't in there, huh?
Texas isn't in there, but this
Probably
is
11 or 12.
not updated. So, anyways. All right, we're done, Jacob, for the week. I know it was painful for you, son. I apologize. It was pretty boring. I think we probably ended up with 3 listeners when this was all over. But call 702-310-6683. First time we gave the number out. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
702-310-MOVE. 702-310-6683 to sell your house, buy your house. If you need a cash advance, we give sellers cash advances. We need to do some repairs to get you the most money possible. We do that too. We have a property management division. Also, we do commercial. So call the real estate guys. Call
the real
Jacob.
estate guys.
Call me. We have a large team. Some great people that work with us to take good care of you. So until next week.
Let's go get our weekly round of foosball in.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, we got to
Cornhole,
play
cornhole.
Cordo. Everybody have a great week. Aaron out. Jacob out. See you next week.
The real estate guy.